Let us sleep. Right, there we go. Look how cool that is. Puffball plants. Select the spores of the puffball cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil. We put down new roots. Adelaide. Okay, cool. There's no response from the auto mechanical unit. A serial number etched in its chassis includes the letter SAM. Oh, Sam looks pretty cool. Photo of Pavarotti's father, stern older man with warm eyes. Modern steel wrench and you. This book is heavily dog-eared with doodles in the margins. Banged up toolbox full of modified tools with unique mechanical usages. Digging around in here would be an easy way to lose a finger to a saw-toothed blade. Abigail, first wrench Dad ever gave me. She's been a friend ever since. Pavarotti. Or Parvati. Alright, pretty cool how we've got Parvati a room. Very nice. There's going to be rooms again for people that we can recruit, I'm guessing.
Something busted, Captain?
Touching that is a good way to lose a hand. Living machinery versus human flesh. Metal wins every time.
Obviously.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Character respectification. Choosing to refunds all of your spent skill and perk points. then you can spend them in a different way. The price to respect will increase each time you use the machine. Nah, I'm pretty good with what I've got, to be honest. It's good to know that that is an option there. Okay. Got quite a few planets here, guys, to be honest. So I'm guessing we're at Terra 2 at the moment. So we got Hephaestus, Typhon. There's a shit ton of planets, man. We're nowhere near finishing the game, which is a good thing because I'm really enjoying it so far. So it must be in some kind of like different universe then, by the looks of it. Go with Groundbreaker.
We've arrived.
Welcome to the system map. Here you can see all the planets in the system as well as some special quote-unquote points of interest that you may have discovered. You can fly your ship to any location that you have unlocked, though some landing bays require special codes and keys before they allow you to land there. Moving between planets is considered extremely dangerous and all employees are encouraged to remain home or at work.
After the Groundbreaker.
Okay.
Can we talk?
Sure.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by.
Don't... Captain. Hey, Captain. I'm in space. I never thought I'd be able to say that. Yeah, huh? That's on account of how I never met her. It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
wasn't for us, this whole damn station would shut down.
Is any of the news they play here actually true?
This heat's unbearable.
Careful where you smoke. Crew bills us for air filtration.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get juked with me again, you little back-bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. Need a trick.
Going for a stroll around the docking base? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan would have done. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. Other than that, can't say as I do. Hey, not for nothing. But I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it? Captain of the Unreliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss. Going for a stroll around the docking base? Going for a stroll around the docking base? Going for a stroll around the docking base? Going for a stroll around the docking base?
It's always fucking freezing.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Hoping we can bring this guy with him, with us even. Hence why I keep going back to him. I think at some point we might be able to, obviously, acquire him as a member as well. Because we want as many members as possible. we've got a few things. Well, we've got someone's skull here. Yeah, I love it.
Patch yourself up, Captain.
Well, that wasn't meant to happen, but there you go.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. You've been listening to Halcyon News, your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Halcyon News media circus surrounds circus time clowns. The politics of Tossball have grown increasingly turbulent of late, with the circus time clowns trading out every single member of the team. Asked to comment on the upheaval, the Owners League released a statement saying that the clowns' failure to reach the finals was a deciding factor in their organisational rearrangement. When questioned about the values of this overhauled team, a representative from the clowns stated that their goals remain the same as ever: toss ball, win, repeat. Halcyon News Chairman salutes Earth Minister Clark. Chairman Rockwell took time out from his busy schedule today to talk to us about Minister Clark and his impact on the colony. Working with Minister Clark has been truly wonderful these past 8 years, he said. His predecessor did a fine job, but Clark's brilliance cannot be overstated. The early retirement program is just the latest in a long line of initiatives he has spearheaded that will ensure Halcyon continues to be the envy of all the outer colonies. We couldn't agree more, Mr. Chairman.
Knock you out for a CCN 76 milk chocolate bar with caramel and peanut.
I know she's in there, Mpuru.
CNP, I can't believe it's not forced. It's unbelievable how...
See, I'm trying to figure out.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Of course, this heat sure makes a zero-G brew extra refreshing. It's an ale that's good for what ails you. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans to keep track of. Sometimes I forget. Heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smells as good as it looks.
If you did, that'd be good, actually. They could use the help.
I'd have to go over my contract, but I don't think I'm allowed to leave Groundbreaker. Or this stall. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everyone loves soap. Everyone will love you for using it, too. I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. Please send any complaints to our Consumer Care Headwear Division. You would never ask if you knew what it's like in here. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's Choice Consumer Relations Choice Specialist. Just keep your nose clean and aim for the moon. Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. Almost as stellar as Spacer's Choice is affordable. I can see all of the top quality merchandise in the Spacer's Choice catalog, which is available here at a reasonable price. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time, but we're always working on delivering exciting new products to our customers. Spread wash, mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the exciting line of dental goods currently in development. Don't miss out on these deals. You'll find none like them on all of Groundbreaker, or anywhere in the Halcyon colony. Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. That's 2 handfuls of pep pills washed down with a hearty swig of 2-hour energy brew. The blast will send you through the stratosphere, and the crash will knock you out cold, guaranteed. Add an additional 10% to your purchase today, and the proceeds will be donated to Spacer Cares, our premier corporate welfare program. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat. Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think it's part of me now. Now, are you ready to make Spacer's Choice Lunar Green Moonmouth lozenges a part of you? Lunar Green, the future is spearmint. Damn it. No slogan for that one. Look, this hat, my job, it may not seem like much to a brave space captain, but they're all that I have. If there are self-made purgatories, then we all have to live in them. Mine can be no worse than someone else's. Now, if we're done with the chit-chat, I hope you don't mind if I make the most of this short life and try to be the best moon person I can be. It's fine. I should be stronger than this. Thanks for taking an interest. Speaking of interest, can I interest you in some quality budget goods? At Spacer's Choice, we cut corners so you don't have to. Have a look. Have you tried our dehydrated water tablets? Just add air. Don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Make a choice. Spacer's choice. Anything and everything. Whatever you want. Just the opposite. Spacer's choice items are always new. Hot off the shelves. Good. Oh, sorry. Okay, customer's always right. Thanks. Moving on. You could go broke buying overpriced erranded gear, or you could buy from us at a much more reasonable rate. That's why you should get a backup or 3. Become a frequent buyer. Join our Friendship Rewards program. Program currently unapproved in Alpha, rewards and friendship pending. Looking for some Spacer's jaw? Don't take my word.
I know she's in there, Mfuru. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Mfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if you just let me talk to Jessie in the first place. Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors. Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureaucracy, I'll be impressed.
A guest objective requires you to enter a restricted area. If caught inside, you'll be shot on sight. Using a disguise will prevent immediate hostilities.
What seems to be the problem? If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. I'll tell you what I've told the others. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. The requests of our patients are paramount, so no, you may not see her. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify patient records, if that's what you're implying. Not without dispensation from Chief Junlei, I fear. Supplies are hard to come by out here. We don't have the ability to manufacture our own medical supplies here on Groundbreaker. Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for such mundane items as bandages and antibiotics, as well as more critical resources like adequately trained staff. We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with Anti-Cleos, but they demanded we only use their branded drugs, and that's simply not tenable. Take care.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service. I'm expecting our delivery fellow to stop through with medical supplies and service auto mechanicals. Name's Captain Irion. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws. Keep hanging around, and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have yourself a day, then.
Dr. Dorset's a deft hand with a blade.
So how do we use this?
Okay. Sure. Gotcha. I'm going. Where are we headed?
All right.
What was that?
Here they come! Attack! I can see this one! I'll get through! Not getting through!
Okay. Guys, we don't want to be in that predicament. Okay. You found an ID cartridge to use with the holographic shroud. You will now be automatically disguised when entering the associated restricted area.
Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think, what can I do? You...
Okay. I'm glad, obviously, it has saved it to where we were, because we don't want to be... you know, we don't have to kill everyone. Holographic disguise activated. Your holographic shroud has activated, giving you temporary access to this restricted area. Moving drains the shroud's energy. When it runs out, personnel will see and interrogate you. Sort your way out with the interrogation. To reset your shroud, it will get harder to sort your way out the more you are interrogated. Okay, if we mark...
You ever wonder if maybe folks keep doors closed for a reason?
To the last ratchet on rotten time, leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires not being disturbed, don't you? What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Highly, lethally contagious. But I'll be fine, so long as I'm left alone. Should've known she'd send a bruiser after me. Damned if I don't rue the day I saved her scrawny little hide. Inadvertently, I befriended a bloodhound in the process. Alright, okay. We can discuss this like the level-headed folk that we are. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone with one ear and an intent to listen.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So I hold up here to lay low. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear. You'd let a poor, ill woman get disappeared by the board? Awfully cold-blooded of you. Though I admire your backbone. Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. I'm a thief. I specialize in particularly high-end and historically valuable items. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you can square things for me, I'd owe you one even bigger than Ellie owes me. Thanks for helping me with the board. You're a real pal. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one, huh? You're sure no one followed you? Is it all clear, or am I still a wanted woman? Ha! Oh, you should ask her that. She'll love it. By which I mean she'll probably have an apoplectic fit. Oh, that's just how Ellie is. According to her, she don't need no one or anything to get by in life. She can deny it all she wants, but we know each other. More than just as passing acquaintances. We've helped each other. Sometimes we even like each other. Lone pirates don't live too long, and it ain't weak to have a friend or two.
Yeah, huh?
Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? You have yourself a day then.
Any word on Jesse? Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
What seems to be the problem? Take care.
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go? How about I stay up top? You know, keep watch, okay?
Crumpled instructions. Frankie got a lead on some local salvage. One of Groundbreaker's old hangars was bricked over until someone found it by poking round the stevedore's quarters. Lilia gave us the go-ahead to plant a flag once we clear out the new arrivals. I'm sending you to scouts. Look for a loose panel. You got to climb on top of their bunks and head towards the back wall. Lilia says we should watch our backs. She thinks we're being tailed, in other words, typical Lilia. All right. So the reason we want to go this way is because I think we missed some areas, and while we fell through the gap in the ceiling.
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
It was some things that we don't want to miss on.
Customs and inspection, right? This way. Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep. Are you pulling my leg? You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. Then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board. Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. All right? He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. Really likes his cereals, too. Maybe a little too much. Bit of a weird bird, all told.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Udon takes it to an, unhealthy level. You noticed, huh? What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or you don't work at all. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. Be seeing you.
Okay. So we're actually not too far away.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time, nor loitering. Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is, not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but 2 officers. Kicked one right in the kneecap while he poked the other in the eyes. McRed's lucky we're too backlogged right now to hunt him down ourselves. But if our resources clear up and we catch him before some contractor does,
I fully plan to lock him in ISO with them 2 officers he wounded. Thinking he won't like that one bit. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head, or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you. Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post, I take my duties real serious. I would have no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand? Then get to business or get moving. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today? Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. They got an office on the far end of the promenade deck. Anything else I can help you with, mister? This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore. I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, folks are liable to start taking your filing privileges away. We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... we just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sanita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something. Well, let me think about it for a minute. No? Appreciate it. You being so understanding and all. That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too, then. All right.
Okay, so we got a lot of quests. Which is good.
What do you think you're doing? Nice doing business with you.
I accidentally pressed it again.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
Gonna head to Vera's for whiskey and darts. Maybe not in that order.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch, Triple Gel Flakes, and Purple Berry flavored Power Nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch. Rizzo's Mock Apple Cider, a hard cider for a hard life. Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight. Rizzo's Knock You Out Bar. A CCN 76 milk chocolate bar with caramel and tea-free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO. Rizzo's Purple Berry Fudge. A soft, sour candy shell around a sweet purple berry flavored center. Suck it, chew it, you can do it. Rizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here. Rizzo's Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste for rainbow. Rizzo's Purple Berry Fudge. A soft, sour candy shell around a sweet purple berry flavored center. Suck it, chew it, you can do it.
Awkward.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. Triple gel flakes and purple berry flavored power nuggets. Now with 12% more crunch.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
This is Halcyon News. We have advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend
I'm
your
sorry.
corporate
Was this
talent
your
from the
room?
dangers
I'll
of
just
alien
move along.
wildlife and the unemployed?
Wait, this is almost certainly my
Talk to your
room.
local manager
That's my
about
underwear
college
on the floor.
military training and lend your life to protecting
Damnable
our
thing
wonderful
about
grounds
living on a
and
space
crops.
station. No pigeons to feed.
Military service does not guarantee
Oh,
full
you
voting
can
rights,
feed the
tax breaks,
sprats,
military
sure enough.
discount, health benefits,
But then the
military
neighbors
burials,
start
participation
moaning
in
about
training for
hygiene.
weapons.
Now
This
see
has been
here,
Halcyon News, your only
What
source
was
for
I
news
doing
in the
again?
Halcyon
No idea, Paul.
Now see here, What was I doing again?
Move along.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. I like that. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar. Yes, dearie? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you. It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? I found a handsome ceramic mandapillar at a salvage auction last week.
Don't make any smart moves.
Got my sights on you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this your room? I'll just move along. Wait, this is almost certainly my room. That's my underwear on the floor. How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Business has been slow. Anything to occupy the time. Didn't quite catch that. You'll have to speak up. Glass ear? Sorry, there's a lot of static on my end. Nothing to fear. Sorry again. The sound of Groundbreaker's engines has really got to me over the years. Huh? What? Huh. Now that I heard. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and Sublight is the shoddy jewel in our rusty old crown. Our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak, same as her mother and grandmother who rode this ship on the crossing. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox. While Junlei Tennyson lives and breathes, Groundbreaker remains free. Our local garbage collectors. That Lilia Hagen never met a debris field she didn't like. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreaker to escape board oversight. But I think there's more to it. She's unusual in the head, that one. Of course. Most of our supplies come and go through merchants. Company ships and salvage runs are the only traffic we tend to get. I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask. If there's a cost to being a company man, he paid it in spades.
Pay-to-view movies. My big canid friend. Synopsis: a lab-grown giant canid goes on an adorable rampage, leading a family of scientists on a wild chase across Emerald Vale. Spending the holiday away from home proves to be a chore, but the family soon realizes that true friends are the monsters you meet along the way. Rated FSR 114, fun times, simulated rampage and body count 11. Nana Spank V11 Primal Affections. Synopsis: raised by wilderness primals, one man will leave the jungle he knows to explore the one he doesn't. Keystone. He came for Nana's spank, but he stayed for love. Can a young corporate executive collar this creature, or will she awaken the beast within? Question mark. Rated PACNC. PACNC. Guys, I've been streaming for 7 hours. I think it's just frying my brains. Rated PACNS for passion, anthropoid, and consensual Nana spanking. Pay-to-view serials. Cereal baking with Edna. Synopsis: in this time-honoured culinary classic, Chef Edna gives valuable life lessons while she cooks from the book of approved cakes. Learn to maintain a structured kitchen, obey your head chief or chef. Achieve a good sponge and obey your sous chef. Edna is the boss in her kitchen, now she can be the boss of yours. Serial Space Hospital. Synopsis: if the walls of Orbital Hospital could talk, they'd shriek with terror. These doctors have seen it all. Zero-G cyst lancing. Extraterrestrial teratoma. Next on a very special episode, in order to trap a chem thief, Dr. Margrave must become a serial arsonist. Don't forget to see Space Hospital Nights for steamy suspense. And then Serial Broderick's Brood. Synopsis: an ordinary colony family daydreams of the extraordinary. While Lucia works in the factory canning processed borscht, her ham-handed husband cooks up schemes to land her a big promotion. Will that lovable fool ever learn to be satisfied with what he has? Question mark. Broderick's Brood is a testament to the less is success family lifestyle.
What was that?
What can I do for you? Need some Adreno? It's good for you. Spacer's promise. Don't take my word for it. See for yourself. Make a choice. Spacer's choice.
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you. Why, it gets you the weapon best suited for your lifestyle.
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush someplace and pop off heads. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine and a barrel heatsink to bump up rate of fire. So, what can I get you?
We'll be back.
mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating to move boxes.
Alright, public notices, ship impounded, question mark. This is a general notice about our impound policies. If the board impounded your ship, take it up with the board. Their embassy is the Gaudi building opposite Sublights warehouse. Send them your questions, outstanding fees and hate mail, especially hate mail. If Groundbreaker impounded you, pay your damn fees and don't bother my people. JT. Looking for work. Urgently looking for a new crew to sign on with. I've been stuck in Halcyon for almost a year now. Don't know what's holding up my next posting. Never had to wait this long to get on another freighter. I plan to take one of the rare long hauls back to Earth, but I haven't been able to find any. And even the shorter skips to the inner worlds seem rarer than the outer world routes these days. If anyone has any information about upcoming work, please post it here. Down on my luck. Hey, so here's my story. My ship limped into Groundbreaker in a rough state. We couldn't make the repair fees, the docking fees, refueling, or the fees for not being able to pay our fees. So I'm kind of stuck here now. Then they took my ship and sold it off as scrap. Now my credit is shot to hell, and corporate freighters won't hire me on. I'm hoping someone with a bunk to spare and places to go is feeling charitable. Thanks for listening. In brackets, this notice has been posted 56 times in 632 days.
CMP near Maple.
Access user M. Callahan. From SC Manager 541 to M. Callahan. Subject RE the Hat. You made your spacer's choice when you signed the employment contract. From M. Callahan to SC Manager 541. Subject the Hat. I keep telling you the hat doesn't fit right. There's something wrong with it. How many people have worn this thing before me? Question mark. Is this my life now? Question mark. Because if it is, I'll take it. I'll be your moon man, but there won't be anything left of me to care. Martin. From Mama C to M, or C Mama to M Callahan. RE. Subject RE. Hi mum, are you okay, honey? Question mark. Mum. From M Callahan to C Mama. Subject, hi mum, hope you're doing well. Mum, thought I'd check in. Okay. Public notices the heat. I know it's bad as the one whose office is closest to our radiators. You can imagine why I want to take 3 showers every day. I hear you. We've got eyes on the problem and hands and tools. It's a mechanical problem with a mechanical solution. In the meantime, enjoy some additional water rations and take breaks. You deserve them. If you're thirsting for cooler air, talk to your closest engineer about spots with favourable circulation. JT. Seeking contractor sublight salvage. Seeking ethically flexible spacer with Stellar Bay landing clearance. Payment in exchange for return of legal salvage. Details given upon acceptance of contract. Active warrants? Question mark. Prior convictions? Question mark. No questions asked. Our background checks filter. Our criminal red flags. Plausible deniability is the sublight way. See Lilia Hagen for details. Warehouse next to the Spratwurst joint, 2nd floor. Loitering on board property is strictly prohibited. Do not delete. The Halcyon Holdings corporate office and its environs are for conducting official board business only. Anyone found misusing board property will be fined accordingly. Board property includes, but is not limited to, Halcyon's Holdings office here on Groundbreaker, the space directly in front of my desk, the space directly behind my desk, my doorway, my berth, and most importantly, my stairs. Thank you for your cooperation, Udom Bedford Certified Liaison. P.S. Please note that the next spacer caught drinking on the stairs outside the embassy may find themselves on the rude side of an airlock. P.P.S. This is the 3rd time I've had to post this message and I'm sick and tired of it. I will not hesitate to open a board-sanctioned investigation into your behaviour and, when you are caught, punish you accordingly. Felix Millstone.
Miss Lilia takes good care of us, see? The authorities stay off our tails.
Oh, neat! They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Okay, from El Hagen, subject. From El Hagen to SL Company, all subject don't run. We lost another contractor to a UDL gunship. This is your daily reminder that legitimate businesses don't run from the authorities. And that is what we are. Stay calm, present your papers. If you get tangled up in the courts, I'll personally bail you out. Anyone seen Hawthorne lately? Question mark. I could use some reliable help. LH. From El Hagen to SL Company, all subject Fallbrook shipments. Unlike most of you sprats, Catherine is bringing Sublight a consistent income. From today until I say so, you're to treat her as an extension of my desk. Speaking of which, Tobias order an extension for my desk. LH Fallbrook shipment. From El Hagen to SL Company, all subject this week in salvage. My scanner says the Mardettes impounded a freelancer ship after the captain misbehaved. The crew dropped so many bits at Vera's place that they can't afford to lift the impound. Whoever gets me salvage rights gets to sit quietly in my office and watch your professional work. One of ours had an altercation with one of theirs, lost another contractor. Scrapped the ship, dedicated a 10th of the salvage to funeral expenses. I take care of my people. A little sprat told me that a crate of spoiled cysty pork ended up at the bottom of a Monarch Canyon. Let's see how much we can sell. Speaking of which, no one eats at Auntie Cleo's stall until I say so. Something in the kitchen's gone bad. The next time one of us quote-unquote finds an quote-unquote abandoned ship and quote-unquote decommissions it, they'd better dispatch a ground team to the debris field before the marauders have their turn. Just because we're salvagers doesn't mean we have to be scavengers. LH.
Got any leads on salvage? Doesn't even have to be broke yet. We'll take anything.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh ground batch of Spratwurst cooking. They're terra-fried to lock in the juices. How about a grinder's dozen?
You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of Spacer's Choice found a use for this limitless frontier resource. Sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly prepared. We grind them up in sausages, then terror-fry them in their own juices. Absolutely not. Spratwurst and all related terms are registered trademarks of Spacer's Choice. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of CMP. Everyone knows our company and theirs are nothing alike. Terror frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. A mix of 13 herbs and spices, plus a dash of modern chemistry. Legally? No. The terror frying method was developed and marketed by Spacer's Choice. Between you, me, and this grinder, I've been through lean times. If there's one thing you learn on tramp freighters, it's how to make near anything edible. Might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right ears, and could be that Spacer's Choice liked sticking it to C&P by R&Ding our own special meat. Just as well, near about time for me to go check on the trap. I mean, to unload another crate of farm-fresh sprats. Long as you don't mind me grinding spratwurst while we talk. Little things don't make themselves chewy. At least not yet. I'm sure modern science will find a way. Just as well. Fresh from the grinder, any hour.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull.
Alright, we'll come back to you. Now, Mom, what you doing?
Hard up for work? Try sublight salvage. Good pay if you're morally flexible.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. This unit is programmed to simulate shock at such assertions. Shock simulation non-functional. A trouble ticket has been filed. Shock simulation restored. Initiating shock subroutine. How dare you? Shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. Resuming protein dispensation protocol. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock all relevant facial protein ingestion tubes. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are your property.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertising.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. Maybe he kept some records around, or a conveniently placed note on his bedside table. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... well, it's my white whale, I suppose. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work. Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but... I don't know, Captain. It just doesn't seem right.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? I quite concur. It's refreshing to deal with someone practical for a change. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or can I return to my work? Be my guest. I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands. I have few complaints.
Good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? Ugh. Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are damp. How can I be expected to work in these conditions? Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've seen no action from her. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use. Ask away.
Okay, that's one quest done. Talk to Ellie. Talk to Ellie. Alright.
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. Except being right. That's nice, too. The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my debt off. If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion, which tells me you're competent. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. You won't be sorry. Or if you are, just add it to my debt and we'll figure something out.
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie. We're real happy to have you.
Very nice.
Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and a pirate by inclination. Not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. I make a mean zero-G cocktail and I've got a meaner right hook. It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand. Usually zero-G brew with some Spectrum vodka if you're lucky, purple berry shake if you're not. I'll make you one sometime. If you don't enjoy it, I'll make a few more until you do. Sure do. Some of it was even legal. There's a lot of business that goes through the Groundbreaker. Some of it's board-authorized freight hauling, and some of it's not. I've done all types of work with all kinds of crews. If there's one thing you ought to know about me, it's that I won't tell you your business. Your ship, your way. Glad to hear it. It's worked for me this long. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise Space Hospital. Never mind what anyone else tries to tell you. That about covers it. Aw, come on. That stuff's boring. Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters is that you've got to give people room to breathe. I'm all for making a few bits together and having fun doing it, but let's keep a little professional distance. No complaints here. Okay, see you around.
Something I can help you with? Take care.
Keep hanging around and I'll begin to think you're here for me. What can I do for you? Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be ashamed. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. Surgery, mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker. The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the... You look at... Keep hanging around and... What can I do? You have...
Okay. So we sent Ellie to the ship.
Have you seen this man? Rewards offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Rose. Report any sightings to the local board
Those XF-411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Baseball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance in...
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs. What can I do for you, Captain? Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life-or-death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand.
Sorry for all the noise, guys.
Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gayan, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from Chief Engineer to Captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. Appreciate it. There wasn't much that took me by surprise about the job, but the little things you never expect or think about, they add up over time. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about. You've got my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. You've got my attention.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement.
Good law, the heat in here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate. Junlei better hurry up with those damn repairs already.
We urge all of our listeners to remember that lack of productivity is not a victimless crime. Workers should be on the lookout for slacking.
Okay.
An underperformance. Report anyone.
Who the... Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king.
Investigating.
Heard something.
Oh.
Smells kind of like old Bess's outfit pipes.
We're pretty good at this. Nice one. Incoming.
All right. Quite a few good things, yeah.
That Chief Junlei sure seems well, huh? Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? What? No. Maybe? I don't... It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools in a little town like Edgewater? I just met her. How could I be? Alls I know is, I want to talk with her more. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just, here's how to fix it. And they trust her. It's just... she's calm and knows what to do. I wish I was half so confident.
Haven't seen any new faces down here since I arrived. Not sure how long ago that was. McRed tends to incinerate anyone who comes by. It's too bad. I mean, he was a scary fucker, total pyromaniac, but you know how it is. You meet a guy, get used to his quirks, and then blam. I'll get back to my post. See you topside, stranger. Be seeing you, stranger.
So, how is he?